Before we start learning how to develop with Lightning components, we're going to have to set up our environment, specifically my domain and Lightning Experience. If you have already set this up, please feel free to skip to the next blog. But if you need help, please feel free to stick around. Beginning with Windows 16, you must enable My Domain before you can start developing with the Lightning Component framework. So let's review how that is done. The very first thing you're going to do is click on the Setup menu. Then you're going to click on Domain Management, My Domain. In here, you're going to type My Domain. Actually, I meant your domain, which it must be unique within the Salesforce ecosystem. So once you have come up with a clever name, you need to click on the Check Availability button to ensure you were the first one to come up with this awesome name. If you were, you'll see a green check mark. Okay, but you're not done yet. You need to follow a few more steps. Accept the terms and conditions. Yes, those terms that you never read, but you always check. Then click on the Register Domain button. At this time, you'll see this message indicating that your request is pending. The next step is one of the hardest ones. Be patient because you're gonna have to wait and wait and keep waiting and a little bit more. Salesforce needs to do some magic with that domain. Once they are done, they will send you an email like this. They are so happy and excited to have been able to grant your request that the email says your developer edition domain, blah 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 blah, is ready for testing. I guess what they really meant to say is your own developer edition is ready. So let's finish up the process. Logging back to the org and take a look at the current URL. In my case, it says na30.salesforce.com. Please take a close look at it and get ready to say bye-bye NA30 and hello my domain. Go back to my domain page. Now click on the Click here to login button. Notice the URL where it now reads eLToroIT.my.salesforce.com. Aren't we excited? Isn't this the greatest thing? We just changed from NA30 to my domain. Okay, maybe not that exciting, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. Let's share it with everybody in your organization. So you need to click on the Deploy to Users button. A message box is displayed alerting you that once you deploy your new domain name, you can't reverse it. After deployment, all users will be redirected to your domain. But after you have chosen a great name which was available and you have tested, why would you want to reverse it? So, click OK. You could now configure the My Domain settings, so click on the Edit button. Here, you can set the login and redirect policies as needed. Once you are done, click on the Save button. The section below, you can configure authentication configuration, and for that we click on the Edit button. This allows you to change the login page for your users. You can add your own logo, the content for the frame on the right side of the login page, some colors, etc. Once you have done your choices, click on the Save button. By the way, in my case, this is what my page looks like. Look, Mom, El Torito again. Oh, one more thing that you would like to set up is to enable Lightning Experience on your org. Although it's not required for Lightning Components development, it's most likely one of the reasons you were interested in developing Lightning Components. So to turn that on, please click on Setup, Lightning Experience link. Scroll to the bottom of the page and flip the switch. You'll see another message box telling you that you are about to change the UI. Give it a long thought. Analyze your options, because you can't go back. Actually, stop. Think it very slowly. And after all that thinking, say, "Nah, what the heck," and click Continue to Lightning Experience. And by the way, you can always go back, so it's not a big deal. Really. Welcome to Lightning Experience. By the way, did you notice the URL? Have you seen this before? The page one app was how you would work with Salesforce One in Chrome to develop and test your custom code. Cool! But wait, you might be asking, how do I get to play with Salesforce One in Chrome now that I have Lightning Experience enabled? Great question. I'm glad you asked. So let me show you. You need to go and turn on the development tools in Chrome by clicking on the hamburger button, then on More Tools and Developer Tools. Click on the button to simulate a mobile device, and your screen will change. And this is what the page looks like. Oh crap! It didn't work for me. It still looks like the Lightning Experience. These instructions are wrong. Well, let me interrupt you and try reloading the page. Oh, that looks more like it. By the way, it's the same URL. What changed? Exactly. Salesforce knows which environment you are running under, and it will provide the corresponding HTML, JavaScript, CSS files to render properly. This is a very cool example of adaptive, not to be confused with responsive web design. Now that you have the environment properly set up, let's start coding.